Insulin resistance does not always require a dramatic diet overhaul. One repeated movement can help your muscles use blood sugar with less insulin. The change is a brisk 10-minute walk soon after your largest meal. Active muscles start using more sugar while your blood sugar is rising. This habit helps most when it supports better daily choices instead of trying to erase overeating. Insulin is the hormone that helps move glucose, the sugar in your blood, into your cells. With insulin resistance, those cells respond poorly to that signal. Your pancreas may release extra insulin to maintain normal blood sugar. This compensation can continue for years before routine testing reveals a problem. Meals create a predictable period when more glucose enters the bloodstream. Sitting through that period leaves large muscles mostly inactive. Walking gives those muscles an immediate reason to use more fuel. The timing can therefore matter, even when the walk is much shorter than a traditional workout. The habit also needs to be practical for ordinary days, without equipment or a gym. It should fit busy adults, older viewers, and beginners. I'm Dr. Kim, a licensed physician. This is not medical advice. Consult your doctor. Muscle contractions help your cells take in some glucose, even when insulin is not doing all the work. This effect begins during movement and can continue afterward. Repeated activity also helps cells respond better to insulin over time. That improved response is called insulin sensitivity. Can a brief walk really matter? Research in people with type 2 diabetes compared short post-meal walks with one longer daily walk. The post-meal schedule reduced the blood sugar rise more, especially after dinner. Timing added value without requiring more total exercise. The first decision is which meal should trigger the walk. Start with the meal that is largest, highest in carbohydrates, or followed by your longest sitting period. For many Americans, that meal is dinner. Using one predictable meal also makes the habit easier to remember. Blood sugar readings can help confirm that choice, but testing is not necessary for everyone. Check only as your clinician recommends. Compare readings taken the same amount of time after different meals. Then test the selected meal on similar days, using similar portions, with and without the walk. Without regular testing, use portion size and food type as practical clues. Meals heavy in bread, rice, pasta, potatoes, or dessert may create a larger rise. However, protein, fat, and fiber can change the response, so food type alone cannot predict the exact rise. Use these clues only to choose a reasonable starting meal. Begin soon after the meal, once you feel comfortable moving. Waiting several hours misses much of the period this habit is meant to target. A short pause after eating is reasonable. The exact delay matters less than making the walk a consistent post-meal routine. A 10-minute walk can improve one reading and still fail to improve insulin resistance overall. It cannot erase a sugary drink, an oversized meal, poor sleep, or 10 inactive hours. A better post-meal number proves that the walk affected that moment. It does not prove the full problem has reversed. Consider two people who both walk for 10 minutes after dinner. One remains active, sleeps regularly, and keeps portions stable. The other sits all evening and continues snacking. Both may see a smaller post-meal rise, but their longer-term results can be very different. That difference explains why a short walk should be treated as an anchor, not a free pass. The walk creates one useful period of muscle activity. The rest of the day still contributes to insulin sensitivity. One good habit helps most when it supports better choices during the remaining hours. One of those choices is whether you remain seated for hours after eating. Inactive muscles use relatively little glucose. Brief movement breaks can reduce blood sugar and insulin after meals compared with uninterrupted sitting. Stand, refill water, or walk for several minutes during long evenings without replacing the main post-meal walk. Beyond sitting, body weight can also affect the longer-term result. Excess fat around the abdomen and liver is often linked with poorer insulin sensitivity. Losing some weight may improve that response. However, regular movement can improve blood sugar handling before the scale changes enough to notice. Sleep is another daily factor. Short or irregular sleep, can make blood sugar harder to manage the next day. A post-meal walk cannot fully correct that effect. An evening walk may still interrupt the automatic move from dinner into prolonged sitting and late snacking. With those background factors in mind, start with 10 minutes at a comfortable pace after the selected meal. Keep that single walk as the daily target until it feels routine, then add 2 or 3 minutes, increase the pace, or add another short walk. Use the talk test to judge intensity. Your breathing should become slightly faster, but you should still speak in complete sentences. Severe breathlessness is not the goal. Beginners gain more from steady repetition than from one exhausting session. Choose a route that removes common excuses. A flat, well-lit path is easier and safer for many beginners. A hallway, mall, or large store can provide an indoor option during bad weather. Keep the route simple enough to use without planning each day. The session can be divided when 10 continuous minutes feels difficult. 2 5-minute walks still create 2 periods of muscle activity. Walking with another person may improve confidence and safety. People with limited balance may need a railing, mobility aid, or supervised movement. Medication can change the safest plan. Insulin injections can cause low blood sugar during activity and for several hours afterward. Sulfonylureas, diabetes pills that make the pancreas release more insulin, can create a similar risk. Ask your clinician whether monitoring, food, or dose timing needs adjustment. Physical warning signs also change the decision. Stop and seek medical guidance for chest discomfort, faintness, unusual shortness of breath, open foot sores, or severe numbness. A stationary cycle, seated marching, or supervised exercise may be safer for some people. The goal is safe muscle activity, not walking at any cost. Strength training can provide another benefit after the walking routine becomes stable. Muscle is a major place where glucose is used. 2 weekly strength sessions can support insulin sensitivity and daily function. They should support the post-meal routine instead of making the plan too complicated to follow. Connect the chosen activity to one visible cue. Begin after clearing the table, loading the dishwasher, or putting dinner dishes in the sink. Keep shoes or needed equipment nearby. Track whether the activity happens consistently before judging the plan by a few isolated blood sugar readings. Reassess the routine after several weeks. Ask whether it happens on busy days, whether the pace feels sustainable, and whether symptoms limit it. Discuss blood sugar trends with your clinician when monitoring is part of your care. Adjust one feature at a time so you know what changed. The daily change is a brisk walk after your largest meal. It activates working muscles when blood sugar is rising and can reduce the post-meal increase. Start with 10 repeatable minutes, then build gradually. People who cannot walk safely can use another clinician-approved activity. Remember the limit that makes the advice useful. The walk supports the rest of your plan. It does not replace reasonable portions, sleep, medication, strength work, or medical care. The best blood sugar habit works on an ordinary Tuesday. You can repeat it without needing perfect motivation. Medicine, simplified. That's what this channel does. If you want more, hit subscribe. This is not medical advice. Consult your doctor.